What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a kind of first impressions and overview / review of the Redline Bowhunting RL-2 DTM sight. This is the sight that's on the Dovetail that's made specifically for the Matthews V3X bridge lock system. And I'm just going to kind of go over this today, kind of show you a little bit of the ins and outs of it, and give you my first impressions. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so the first part of this we're going to go over is just kind of the fit and finish of it. I've played around with it for a few minutes today and just kind of looking around on it, and everything, I'm impressed with everything really so far. All the color and paint and everything is really good. Everything's really smooth. The wheel dial is really nice and smooth and easy, and it doesn't, if you loosen it up here, this is the dial for loosening it up, and then you dial it to a spot, like it's not gonna move from that spot even if it's loose. So if you got to make a quick range and adjustment, you don't have to worry about loosening it, rolling, and then tightening it back down. Like it's gonna sit there. It's not just gonna keep rolling or up and down or anything like that. All the adjustments on it is pretty easy. It's got a toolless windage adjustment, so you just loosen that up, you got your clicks, and tighten it back down, and you're good to go. It comes with a rheostat light. It's got 3-stage rheostat, super dim, medium, and pretty bright, and then off. And it also comes with a whole page of sight tapes. These are actually pretty good looking sight tapes. It comes with 40 different tapes, which should be plenty for anybody with any speed. Comes with 3 Allen keys and 2 screws for your mounting block, which I will not be using because I will be using the bridge lock system mount for this. So yeah, pretty good so far. Alright, so the next part I'm going to go over on this sight is going to be the Dovetail and how it fits in the bridge lock system on the Matthews, which is what it's made for. So here I have my Matthews V3X 29, and I'm just going to take and put it in the bridge lock system sight there. It goes in really well. It's not too tight of a tolerance. It's just loose enough that you can get it in and out pretty easy. But there's really not a lot of slop. Like there's a little bit of slop, but not a ton. And once you get that screw set, that set screw tightened down really good, it's not going anywhere. It's super, super snug. All right, so the next part I'm going to go over on this sight is actually one of my favorite parts that I've kind of found out about this thing so far. So when you're sighting your RL2 in here on the Dovetail, there's 2 little screws here on the side, and when you're first sighting in, what you want to do is you want to find a spot that's working for you. Like say you're at 20 yards, and instead of rolling on your dial to get where you want it to be, all you need to do is loosen these 2 screws up, and you can move this thing up and down without having to roll your dial. Once you get to a spot you like, tighten it back down, and from there you can make all the rest of your adjustments with your dial. Super awesome and really cool adjustment feature that's really awesome on this RL2 sight. Alright guys, so the next part of this sight I'm going to go over is going to be how you adjust your first axis and your macro left and rights on your scope rod. So it's got a little Allen screw right here on the front. And all you want to do is take your Allen key that comes with it, loosen that up, then you can slide the scope rod left and right for macro adjustments to get yourself kind of close to where you need to be. And then you can also roll the scope back and forth to get your first axis just perfect. And once you're done, you just tighten that back down and you're ready to go. And then to do any other kind of windage adjustments for that, you just loosen up your hand screw on the top there and then make your clicks. Tighten it back down and you're good to go. Alright guys, so for this RL2 here, the next part I'm going to go over is the second axis adjustments on this. So the second axis adjustments, there's 2 screws on the front, kind of one on the top here behind the scope and the other on the bottom there. All you do to adjust that is you just take your Allen key, loosen your 2 screws up on the top and bottom, and then once that's loose, you can roll this thing back and forth, and it's got laser etch marks on the top so you know exactly where you're at when you're done. You roll it back and forth to get it just right, tighten it back down when you're done, and then you can either write it down, take a picture, or make a mental note of where you're at on your laser etching to know exactly where to come back to if you ever have a problem and your second axis moves or something crazy like that. But it's super easy to adjust and work with and remember, and yeah, really cool feature. All right, so the next part of this site that I'm going to go over is how to adjust the third axis on this. It's pretty easy to do. It is a manual adjustment, but it's really not bad. All you want to do is, it's got 4 set screws, 2 on this side and 2 on that side. You just take and loosen those up just a little bit. You don't want to do it a ton. Just take and loosen your set screws up, and then once you got those loose, you take your other Allen key, loosen the top screw on here, just want to get it loose enough to be able to move this, and then you can roll your third axis back and forth. Pretty easy. And again, it's got laser etched marks on the top there, so you know exactly where it's at. When you're done, just take your screw, tighten it back down on the top, and then tighten your side screws back down, nice and snug, and you're good to go. All right, so for the next part I'm going to go over on this site is actually going to be a really cool little feature, and that is it has a micro adjustable yardage pointer on here, which I think is really awesome. You just take your little Allen key here. If you need to adjust it, you loosen that screw up. Then you can make small adjustments on your needle if your yardage gets off, or if you're shooting and you need to just make a very tiny adjustment, but you don't want to move your roller knob here. All you can do is just loosen that up, move it a little bit, tighten it back down, and it's ready to go. All right, so the last thing I'm going to talk about on this site is going to be the scope and the pins. So just to start with the scope, it's a pretty cool scope. I like it. It's got a pretty decent amount of fiber in there, so you're going to get some good lighting on your pins. It does receive, you can put a lens on the front. It screws off on the front there, so you can put a lens or anything you want on there, and maybe a different sunshade. But then one of my favorite things about the pins on this is actually it's a 3-pin, and so you've got your 20, 30, and 40, but your third pin is actually a 0.010, and your 2 top pins are 0.019, which is going to be really awesome when you're rolling this thing out to longer yardages and using your bottom pin as your rover, because an 019 pin can get a little big when you're looking at targets kind of past 60 yards. It can kind of start to cover up some of what you want to see on your target. So I think that's a really cool feature and something they really put a lot of thought into when they were making this site. And it's got an awesome little it's got a nice bright green scope ring right there. It's going to be really easy to see and pick up when you're looking through your peep. And then it's got pretty easily adjustable and pins on the side here. You just take your Allen wrench, put it in, loosen it up, slide it to where you need it, tighten it back down, and yeah. All right, guys, so that is going to be it for today's kind of first impressions and review of the Redline RL-2 DTM site. I can't wait to put a lot more time behind this and get it out in the field and put it to good use. Like I said, for $229, there is a lot of features packed into this thing that's really hard to beat for that price. I'll put a link in the description to the Redline website where you can go and check out a lot more of their other products. And these are also sold at quite a few of the other big dealers like Lancaster. But one of the things Redline really likes to push is going to your local dealer and picking one up. I was lucky that my dealer here in Tampa, Florida had a couple of these in stock. So you can go on the website, check out where to find a dealer that sells these. It's pretty easy to find on their site, and go check one out. They're a super awesome site. Like I said, really cool. A lot of cool stuff packed into this for the price you get, and super awesome product. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. And got a lot more stuff coming soon. Gonna have a full bow build here in the works on the near future, and gonna be a lot more videos putting this thing to good use. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will catch you guys later.